Hey guys, it's Cece. I am working on my wall today in my art studio slash workshop space slash showroom, I guess. I don't know. It serves a few purposes, but I mostly just make stuff and have classes here. But I have got a staging wall. Well, I've got two staging walls. So I've got a staging wall right here, right there. See that green grassy looking thing? And instead of putting backdrops up and down all the time and moving and shuffling all my furniture around, I decided to create another wall for my photographing of my furniture. So for my photography, sorry, I'm trying to adjust my tripod here while I talk. I wanted to add another wall that was more permanent in this area for, you know, a backdrop, to use as a backdrop for photographing my furniture. So this wall was just white, and I did have a backdrop up, you know, screwed up. I had a backdrop, like a faux wall of some sort, fabric backdrop. It was screwed onto the wall and exactly where the tape is. So where I've taped off, that's how big the backdrop was that I had on. So I used that backdrop. I put up my tape lines so I knew where I wanted to do my finish. And then I gave it a real quick coat of a color. I just kind of had some leftover buttercream and drop cloth and maybe another color in some jars. So I just threw them all together. I wanted like a grayish color, and I needed enough to do the whole wall. So I just threw together a few like half empty jars. And I got this color, which was perfect because I just wanted a gray, nothing fancy. So I am going to be doing some faux finishing, and I'm gonna be real 100% honest right now. I'm not sure exactly how this is gonna turn out. I know I want to use multiple colors and layers to do some faux finish type look with my block. You know how much I love my wood block that I like to drag paint on things and create that kind of look. So I'm going to be using the block, my distressing block, to add some layers, and then I have a brick stencil. I'm going to add some brick with some maybe some raised brick. I've got some sea spray, then I'm going to mix with paint to make it a color, add some brick. And then I'll have to wait for that to dry, probably overnight. It's not going to dry while I'm here today, so I'll add the brick, and then I'll do some more layers on top of that faux brick. So like I said, I rolled on just a quick coat of this gray mixture that I made. It's not perfect. You can see some spots here where it's like, you know, I could use another coat. But I'm doing so many layers, it's not going to really matter. So that's why I am okay with it just being a really poorly done first coat, or not poorly done, not very good coverage first coat, because I'm going to be doing a whole lot of layers on top of it, so no big deal. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and start out with, I grabbed some more muted colors. So I grabbed some more muted colors because the faux finishing, when I want to create a like an old world look type finish, you want to use a lot of colors that are in the same kind of family, not too contrasting. You want sort of similarly hued colors, and that's what creates a subtle texture like on concrete or brick. So I've got cotton, which is what I'm going to do my brick in. I'm going to mix this with sea spray, just white. I'm going to mix that with sea spray and do some faux brick, but I'm going to do that after I add some layers first. So for the different layers, I've got hurricane gray, mud puddle, French linen, and farmhouse green. So I think those are not too terribly different colors. They're not super contrasting or anything. So I'm just going to create like an old world finish, super easy with a block of wood. And then I am going to do our raised faux brick stenciling. So I'm going to I've got some paper plates. I'm going to start with hurricane gray. I usually start with the darkest or boldest color first, and then I work my layers up to the lightest color. So I'm going to do hurricane gray first. And I've got some little plates. I'm going to pour my Hurricane Gray out on a little plate so I can dip my block into it. There we go. Got it open. So I'm going to start with some Hurricane Gray. Not a whole ton, just about that much. I can add more when I need to add more. And I meant to bring my big trowel. I have a big trowel like that construction workers use to put on mortar on bricks, but I've just got this little block because I forgot my trowel. So it's just going to mean a little bit extra work. No big deal. And I can bring my trowel for when I do the layers on top of the brick, so no big deal. So I'm just going to start wherever, and I'm going to start dragging my Hurricane Gray all over. And it's a good thing that this wall is not like totally flat. It's got that, whoever did the drywall on this, it's kind of wavy. So if I look at the wall, it's a little bit wavy. And that kind of helps me out in this situation because it adds to the texture of my block. And I don't have any rhyme or reason for where I'm putting this. I'm just kind of dragging it on and getting some Hurricane Gray on there. I have no rhyme or reason whatsoever, just totally random. So, let's see, one more swipey and then I'm going to add some more Hurricane Gray. I'm just going to keep going until I am happy with that my Hurricane Gray being distributed all over my wall, or you know, I don't have to go over the whole thing until I'm happy with where it's at. This went faster than I thought it would. I thought it would take me a lot longer than this. It's not. Good thing is, you like literally need like no skill to do this. It's so easy. I actually have a printed backdrop at home at my photo area at home. I have a printed backdrop that's sort of like this. It looks like wood planks that have like old paint chipping off all over it. And people always ask me if I painted it myself, and I'm like, no, it's a print. It's a banner that I had printed and I hung it up. But this is how I would do it if I were to do that look by painting it. This is what I would do, except I would be doing it on wood planks instead of just my drywall. But that's all right. It's gonna look cool. It's gonna look super awesome when we're all done. And I'm messy. I'm glad I put down the drop cloth this time. I don't usually paint with the drop cloth, and I thought, well, I'm better this time. I don't know. Another reason why I chose the grays and some more muted colors that are, you know, very close, they're not very contrasty, is because I'm going to be taking photos of my furniture in front of this. So I really don't want to detract attention from the furniture. I would like to keep it on the furniture and not on my backdrop. So I'm not going crazy bright or anything like that, and that's why. Need some more paint. Whoop. wipe that up. So this is just one color that I'm doing so far. I mean, like when I start to layer all the other colors, it's gonna look pretty cool. I mean, this is just one. Why am I so messy? I promise you, I'm the messiest person that I know. Oh, I hope everybody's staying safe and at home. Yes, I'm at my shop, but I consider it like home because no one else is here. You know, like there's not people in and out right now, so it's not contaminated, you know. So I can be here. Unless I'm contaminated and I'm contaminating my store and I don't know it. In which case I could still be here. Alright, so I got one little corner left to go. So far so good, I'm digging it. And I'm just dipping this in the paint and just dragging it along. Any which way I feel like it. No rhyme or reason. Okay, so now I've got that all pretty much, the area filled in with how much Hurricane Gray that I want. So I'm going to wipe off my block and get a new paper plate, and I'm going to use the next color. So like I said, I go from darkest to lightest, so I use the darkest color, which is a Hurricane Gray. It's pretty, the gray on that custom white that hi Mom, the custom gray that I mixed with the dark gray on top, it's pretty bold. Once I start adding all the layers, it's gonna tone it down a lot, or at least not look so bold with just this gray on gray kind of look. So I'm gonna add next I'm gonna do Mud Puddle, which is probably the only Dixie Belle color I've not painted with because, let's just be honest, it's ugly. And I've been putting off painting with Mud Puddle for a long time because I've never had anything that I wanted this brown. It looks better on camera. In real life, it's got like a reddish tone to it, like red mud or something, but it'll work for our faux brick wall anyways. So I'm gonna open that for the first time ever. Yeah, it's not the prettiest color. Ah, it's like red mud, reddish mud. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour some on my next paper plate. I got a new paper plate that actually happens to be the perfect size for my little block. It fits perfect, so these are perfect for my my little, as a little palette for my paint. I'm gonna pour some on. Whoa, stop. That might have been a little too much. Okay, so that was a lot of paint. So I'm just gonna dip it lightly in my paint because I poured way too much on accident. And I'm just gonna start dragging it. Same way I did with the Hurricane Gray, just different color. And I'm so messy. I keep spilling it on my trim. Ah, so many spills. Alright, well, I'll keep this handy in case I spill some more, but I might have to repaint the trim white when I'm all done because it's so messy. Okay, I'm going to try not to be as messy. Alright, I'm going to try not to be as messy. See if that works. Little effort or skill. Like you literally have to have zero talent in order to do this, but some patience, because it's going to take several layers to get to keep doing it till I got it covered with mud puddle like I want. Dang it, and I spilled again. Where did it spilling? Maybe I should have taped off my trim, because they keep dripping on my trim. Okay, keep going. Maybe just a little bit more paint, and then we're going to call it a day on mud puddle, and I'm going to move on to the next color. My goal is to kind of cover up as much of the first gray color that I roll painted on with the roller. My goal is to kind of get that pretty much covered up with all of these splatters, and that will create the texture. So I'm going to wipe off my block and grab the next color, which is, let's do farmhouse green next. I'm going to add in just a little bit of green, and the reason I chose this one is because farmhouse green is just a real pale green, and so it can give you that just hint of patina kind of look. Ooh, you know what? And I'm going to do this, and I might do a little bit of a teal color too. Yeah, maybe I'll do a little bit of, I don't know, maybe a little bit of the Gulf. I'll have to get another thing of it, or sea glass. These, the sea glass, which is very close to this, and the farmhouse green will create kind of a patina look. I'm going to grab my sea glass real quick. From the top shelf, of course. Yeah. So, yeah, that'll give just a hint of a patina look. These two colors. So, I got my brand new paper plate here, and I'm going to pour out, let's do the sea glass first, actually, before the farmhouse green, because it's a little bit brighter. And pour some out on our lovely little paper plate. And then just go at it the same way we did all the other colors. Paint and dragging it on through. It keeps dripping on the trim. Gosh. I should probably just take off the trim so I'm not wiping it down the whole time. Or I guess I could just go over it and paint it back white again later. I don't know. I guess if it looks bad, I'll just paint it again. Need another cloth. Okay, back to the sea glass. Okay, we left off around here. Right, need a little bit more sea glass. I love this color. Sea glass is a good color. Rocking and rolling. Yeah, let me see. I think that might be good. Oh yeah, that's probably good for sea glass. I got this one little spot here, a little bit more paint. Drag that through. Okay. Now I'm going to wipe off my block and get another clean paper plate. And now I'm going to do farmhouse green. So now is the turn for the farmhouse green. Okay, so where you at, farmhouse green? Where you at? There it is. Farmhouse green. How's that look? Looking pretty good in the photos. It's a little busy. It's pretty bold. In the end, the very end, I'm probably going to do a glaze over the whole thing to tone it down. That way I get all my beautiful layers of texture, but it's not quite so detracting. I don't want to detract the attention from the subject of the photo, which is the furniture, most likely, unless I'm taking a selfie or something, you know. But for real, like, I don't want to detract from the attention. So I'm going to do a little bit less on the farmhouse green. I mean, more paint, but I'm not going to, my coverage is going to be less because I don't want it to be so patterny. You know what I'm saying? Like, it needs something to break it up a little bit. So I'm not going to go over the whole thing with farmhouse green like I did the other colors. I'm going to pick a couple areas, and I'm going to, really, I'm just going to have to repaint this trim because I'm just spilling left and right. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm gonna go in concentrated areas of the farmhouse green to make it a little less pattern looking. I don't want it to be so patterny. So I'm gonna go there, a little bit here. Helps if you wipe the drips off your blocks so you're not spilling everywhere. And then I'm going to come kind of over here. And, all right, let me see what that looks like. Maybe a little bit more of the farmhouse green. Let's kind of come out up here. I'm going to pour a little bit more out on my paper plate. And I'm going to kind of come up over the top just a little bit there. So I'm just going to come up here. Down a little bit more here. Okay, and I think that is good for my farmhouse green. So let's move on to our next and last color. So I got one color left to do before I do the sea spray with brick. So I'm going to do one last color, which is Hurricane Gray in this method. And then I'm going to mix my sea spray with my cotton, which is white. And I'm going to make some raised stenciling, some faux brick out of raised stenciling. Some raised stenciling faux brick, whatever I'm trying to say. Fake brick with stencils, that's what I'm making. So then maybe a couple more layers, I don't know, maybe I'll string a little gold throughout it, I don't know. Maybe not, maybe, probably. And then I'll do a glaze over the whole thing so that it kind of marries all the colors, you know, like a wash over all the colors so that they're a little more toned down and they all blend together a little better and are not quite as in your face, you know what I'm saying? So the last color is the Hurricane Gray, and we're going to do that in the same way we did the farmhouse green. We're just going to do some concentrated areas instead of all over. And I'm gonna do, when I do the faux brick, I'm not gonna do the whole entire wall with the faux brick. I'm gonna do it sort of like I'm doing these last two, you know, in certain areas. So I'm just gonna slap on some hurricane gray here to darken up some areas. And I'm going to make sure that I spill it all over my trim, because that's important part of the process. So, wait, I already used hurricane gray, didn't I? What was my other color then? Didn't I already use hurricane gray? Ah, French linen was my other color. Shoot, I grabbed the wrong color, y'all. Alright, so I'm gonna get a paper plate, a new paper plate, and pour some French linen, because that was actually my last color. I grabbed the wrong one. Dummy, why didn't you guys tell me I grabbed the wrong one? Wait, so I'm going to do some French linen. So for real, not the hurricane gray for the second time. I meant to grab French linen. A little bit of French linen, and then we're going to make some faux brick. But see, like, even though I messed up, you can't really tell I messed up, right? Like, it's not... That's why I'm saying this requires, like, little to no skill or talent. You just smack stuff on there. I mean, making it look random without looking forced can be a little tricky. So I guess there's a little bit of skill involved there, or at least some thought. I'm going to do my French linen. Kind of coming down. Really? God dang. Wow. I don't know anybody messier than me. Like, I seriously can't even imagine who would be messier than myself. Like, not a thing. Alright. So I'm going to get through here a little bit with my Frenchy linen. And right now I'm just kind of going through and trying to fill in the voids, like where there's really like not as much layers of paint. I'm trying to get some more coverage going right now is what I'm doing. So now it's time to faux stencil brick stuff. Faux brick, 3D stenciling, faux brick. Faux brick 3D stenciling. Okay, so I think it's looking pretty sweet right now. But we're gonna add some faux brick. So I don't really have, I didn't really bring a big enough bowl here. So I got these little styrofoam bowls. I'm probably gonna need a lot more than this, but that's what I got. So I'm gonna go ahead and add about, I don't know, a half a scoop, just because I have such tiny bowls here. A half a scoop of sea spray, okay? So sea spray is a texture additive for paint. It's from Dixie Belle. Sea spray texture additive. Sorry, I know that's backwards. So I'm gonna do about a half a scoop to start, because you can always add more if you need it. And then I've got my cotton. I'm gonna do white bricks. They'll be white for now anyways. And I'm gonna add about a quarter cup of the cotton. You don't have to measure it out, because I'm not. You can just eyeball it. About a quarter of a cup of cotton. And I'm gonna stir that up. And I'm gonna wait. I'm trying to get the consistency of like a paste. So say like toothpaste. That's the kind of consistency I'm going for. So I'm pretty good at getting that, or I'm getting that pretty well with the 1/4 cup of paint and half a scoop of sea spray. So that's about right. You want it to like fall off the spoon but not be drippy. You know what I'm saying? You want it to not be so stiff it doesn't move, but you want it to not be super drippy. So, okay. So I'm going to use a mud spatula to apply that. You can use whatever, you know, like a squeegee of some sort. These mud spatulas are like $1 at Dixie Belle or something, but I'm sure the hardware store has a million different types of these you can grab. And I already sprayed a little bit of spray adhesive onto the back of my brick stencil. So this is a ReDesign Prima stencil in the brick pattern. So it's made large, it's 4 walls. I'd like to tape it up, but my paint's a little bit wet, so I don't think taping it up is gonna work. See how big this sucker is? He's a big one. So I'm just gonna hold it up, and I've got my mixture of sea spray. I'll start down here. So I'm gonna show you that I'm not filling in the whole stencil. So I'm gonna do like, let's just say, the bottom corner. And I have a feeling, since I can't mix up that much sea spray at a time, I have a feeling I'm gonna get really annoyed because I've got these tiny bowls and I can't mix up that much at a time, so I'm gonna have to keep mixing it up. But we'll do the best we can. So I'm just kind of going to fill in a brick or two here and there. And I'm not filling in the whole stencil. I want it to look like these bricks were painted at some point, and the paint over the years has just really, you know, taken a beating and all of that. So that's the goal with the look for the bricks. So however thick I put this on, like I can put it on really thick and make some really, really thick bricks with lots of texture, very 3D, or I can spread it on fairly thin and have a more, you know, a less textured stencil, but I like to kind of go in between. I'm a tweener. So that's about how much of the stencil I'm going to fill in. And then I'm just going to pull it up. And I've got my little bits of brick right there. So I'm going to repeat that kind of in random spots. Can you even see that? I'm gonna do that in random spots all over this whole wall. Or at least maybe around, I don't know, it might be nice if I just kind of go around, you know what I'm saying? Because see, the furniture will be right in the middle. And if I do around it, it'll kind of draw the eye in the center towards the furniture. I think that might be a good idea. I don't know. We'll see what that looks like. But I gotta mix up more sea spray because I only got tiny bowls. I'm actually going to mix up a couple bowls of sea spray now because that way I don't have to keep making more and more and more. I really wish I had a bigger bowl. Thank you. Oh, you know what I do have? I have a paint cup. I have one of those paint cups that you use when you're painting your walls. Yeah. I have one of these. I'm gonna mix it up in one of these. That way I can make way more at a time. So smart. Oh my gosh, where did I get my brains from? All right, so now I'm gonna let's do a whole scoop of sea spray. Oh, script. Let's just do a whole scoop of sea spray because I might be out of cotton after this and I'll have to go grab some more. But that's the beauties of having a Dixie Belle retailer in my store. I can go grab more. So I'm just gonna dump the rest of this paint in here and mix up all that. Yeah, isn't it cool? Like you could make brick out of like, you know, you could make purple bricks or blue bricks or any kind of color of brick that you want. I love the brick stencil. So many good looks that you can do on walls and even furniture. It could look cool on furniture, although there's not much furniture made out of brick, so it wouldn't be very realistic, but it would be pretty cool. methinks. All right, so hopefully this scoop is enough for my whole, the rest of that 8-ounce jar of, yeah, I think this is good. Good consistency. So similar to toothpaste, not drippy, but not so stiff that it doesn't come off the spoon. Yeah, I think that's good. That's about a good consistency. I don't even think I have it all the way mixed up yet either. Yeah, like that. Boom, boom, boom. That's a good consistency. Hi, I got my mom and my assistant and my best friend watching. I mean, really, you guys are the real deal, the ride or die. Okay, here we go. Next. Alright, so I got my spatula here. I'm gonna go ahead and put up, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go up now, up here. Let's go up here. Let's stay out here. Let's go right here. Alright, so now that I got some more sea spray mixture, I can just start dragging it on. And you don't want to make your bricks look too perfect. You know, like you want them to look aged and you want them to look realistic, and they're in real life they're not perfect. So see down here in this corner right there, that's even a little too perfect for me. I like it a little more imperfect. So I think I'm gonna fill in even less and more random spots and less, you know, whole bricks, if that makes sense. Alright, this is my favorite part, pulling up the stencil. Now we get to see how it looks. See, I like that better. It's less perfect-y looking, more natural, but I just have to, you know, keep going. Just those two little patches are not gonna look right, so just gonna have to keep going. So I'm gonna line up my stencil right here with where the other one was, because I'm going to overlap it just a little bit. Oh God. Well, that's going to be awesome. Here, hold it in this hand. I need my little stool over here to hold my sea spray. So we're just slapping it on all willy-nilly, nothing crazy, no rhyme or reason. Stress relief, you know, like when you don't have to be like painting a specific thing and you can just kind of do whatever. That's the best. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to take it over here a little bit and just keep going. But I'm going to start, maybe I'll start up here. I don't have much left, so I'm going to have to probably mix some more mid-stencil, but that's okay. A bit more. Oh, this cup was way better than the paper plate or the styrofoam bowl. All right. Let's see how that's going to look. Boom. Ooh, I like that one. That's my favorite one so far. That one up in the corner. So I'm just going to keep doing that until I decide that I'm going to be done. So if you have any questions during the replay or anything like that, just drop them in the comments and I'll answer them in a little bit. So everybody have a good weekend and stay safe and healthy. Bye-bye.